All right. Hello, hello. Today we have an amazing topic. Hope everybody can hear me. All right. Give me a hashtag live if you are here live. Thank you so much for today. We are doing some Q&A about we're doing some Q&A from now until the end of the year. It's supposed to be daily, so we'll see how that goes because I already missed a couple. Don't hold me to it. Testing out some new software, so it might be a little bit wonky on that front too. But that's all right. We're in it. All right, so the first question, or the question for today is, let me see, what was the question? How can I find a profitable niche for my coaching business? All right, so I have a thing about this. Most of the coaches who I've worked with throughout the years have a hard time, including yours truly, niching down. And so I've talked about this a million times, but I want you to think about it like this. It's easier if you do it because you're not a corporation. So being able to find that one spot is a lot easier for a million different reasons. And on the last one, we talked about that a little bit more in depth. So I'm not going to go into it again, but it is a lot easier if you can figure out how to niche down. So this one's even before that, but how can I find a profitable niche for my coaching business? So what I would say to this is my real straightforward answer is your coaching business should be around your expertise or your passion, right? That's what your whole coaching niche should be based on, whatever that is for you. So you also, in addition, you also want it to be profitable. You don't want to do coaching on something that literally nobody wants. But I kind of find that a little bit funny because there are some obscure small niches where you could really shine because nobody else is there. But again, no point in doing this if you don't want to make money. Remember, I am a business coach. Business equals profit. So you have to make money. This is not about having a hobby. If you want to have a hobby, more power to you, go for it. But what I'm talking about is a real business that you bring, from the start. So whether you've been in business a while or not, maybe you've been spinning around in circles going, God, is this even a profitable niche? So one of the questions is going to be, is it too saturated? And I would say if it's a niche where there are a ton of people, it's a profitable niche. It's a profitable niche. So that answers that, right? You actually want to have a ton of people in there. Now, with that said, there are a couple of like the biggies that if you know that it's under this umbrella, more than likely it's probably profitable. And then you can get lower and lower and lower or deeper into the niche to get your little piece of the pie. But if you're in health and wellness, any type of health and wellness, that's going to be a profitable niche. If you're in wealth, that's what I do, business coaching, how to make money, how to find clients, how to get clients, whatever. That's wealth niche, profitable niche. Relationships, everybody has them, right? Whether it's internal in the office, if it's, with your children, with your spouse, with your relatives, whatever it is, relationships. So personal and professional, profitable. Personal development, trickier, but still profitable. All right. So if you are like, oh, but I really, really, really want to do this, let's talk about some ways for you to figure out, is it a profitable niche or not? So one of the things that you can do is go on Amazon Books, Google whatever it is that you want to coach on. If there are books on it, especially if there's like a dummy book on it, then it's more than likely a profitable niche. So you want to research what the demand is. And if there's a lot, profitable. If there's not any, you might have to deep dive a little bit more. You might have to do some other things. But for the most part, most of you are picking ones that are in those top 5. So it's profitable no matter what, almost. What happens is sometimes it's difficult if you do not have your messaging right and what you want to tell people and how you explain to them the benefits to them, then it's very difficult to sell things. People aren't out there buying like being a better person a lot of times. So that does get a little bit tricky in how you sell it, but it is still very profitable. One of my favorites, I always talk about Tony Robbins, Dean Gressiel. That's what now they're a little bit more niched, but they definitely win in the whole personal development realm. All right, so I would say research. You can look on Amazon. You can look on Udemy. Are there courses about it? Are there courses about it? Do a Google search. What comes up when you search it? How many sites are there? How many other coaches are there? How many look in Facebook groups? Are there groups about it? Wherever you are, TikTok, LinkedIn, is there enough stuff about it? Because if there is more, and if you're picking one of those big ones, more than likely it is a profitable niche. But if it's a more obscure one or way deep drilled, then you can do some of these things to see. So research it, talk to people, and make sure that there is an actual demand for what you're selling. This has happened. People have thought of ideas that they think are great ideas and cannot find the people who want what they're selling. That could be that there are none of those people, very hard to believe, or that they're not saying it correctly, or they can't find them, right? Any one of those 3 things. So make sure you can find the groups, the areas. Where do they hang out? Where do they talk? Reddit is a great place. Look on Reddit, subreddits. Are there subreddits about it? How many subreddits are there? Are there a ton? Awesome. None? Okay, you could be the pioneer. But being a pioneer is a really long, hard road. Just saying. So the next thing you want to do is identify your passion and expertise. Again, this is what you should be coaching on. And it doesn't have to be what you did your entire life. So a lot of you watching are probably around my age, and you have worked in something your whole life. And you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I want to do when I coach. That's okay. That's okay. So what can you do if it's not what you've done your whole life? If you've done it your whole life, obviously you've got the expertise. If you also have the passion for it, beautiful, easy. But let's say that you don't. Where else can you figure out what that is? Well, you know what you're passionate about. You could start there. You could ask other people, hey, when have you ever seen me like really light up when I talk about something? What was it about? Or what is it that I do what do you come to me for help about? Ask them, like, when is it, what problems do you have when you come directly to me for me to help you solve those problems? Or what is it that you can count on me for, that you think that I am like really, really great at? You can ask other people. Don't be shy. Don't worry about it. Most people outside of entrepreneurs are going to tell you, why are you doing that? It's not going to work. So just get used to hearing that if you're just starting off. But still ask the questions. You're going to have thick skin if you want to be an entrepreneur. So ask the tough questions. Ask other people. Ask yourself. Set an alarm. Write down on a paper, 10-minute alarm, everything I think I am just amazing at. And then set another 10-minute alarm, everything I'm super, super duper passionate about. Can you crisscross anywhere? Can you find some ways to make them both meet? All right, so those are definitely ways. So find your passion and your expertise. Let's say you have a passion and 0 expertise. Well, how can you coach other people in what you're doing? you still can, because you only need to be a little bit ahead of everybody else. So go deep, study it a little bit, and then start talking about how you're studying it, how you are learning it. Have them join you on your journey. That's another way to really be able to do it. And yes, you can do that. People like to follow. People like to have steps. People like to have somebody, kind of open that pathway for them. So they will follow you. You can still coach them on that. If you are like, I need to lose weight and I am going to, start a keto diet, and you're going to do all the research and all the stuff, and you've come up with what you want to do, and that's what you're going to do. Put your disclaimers out there that you're not a doctor, you're not a this, you're not a that, and start moving. Get some people on there. All right, my last thought on this is test and validate your ideas. So how can you do that? Start. You are never going to come up with the very perfect idea that is perfectly executed, implemented, accepted, loved, and, multi-millionaire in 3 months. I don't want to say never, because it's happened, I'm sure. But for most of you, that's not going to be the trajectory, right? It's not going to go like, shoo. No, it's going to be like, that's just life. That's how it goes. But you will not know what you don't know until you start and move forward. Being an entrepreneur is just that. It's like one big experiment, and you have to put yourself out there to start experimenting. So if you're getting overly consumed with the small stuff, just take a step back and think about it for a second. What is it that's really important? Because I hate to say this out loud, but your niche is probably not even that important, because once you start putting yourself out there, it will become clear what you really want to talk about, what you really want to help people do and solve, and how you want to show up in this world, and what lights you up, what fulfills you, and what helps other people all at the same time. You'll come to it, but you're not going to come to it without just putting yourself out there. So step number 1 is, get it down, put a couple of 10-minute timers on, and then just go for it. Because it's not going to be perfect. Get out there ugly. Look what I did with the 60-day thing. Just get out there and do it. Don't worry about it. All right. If you are interested in finding your niche, I have a mini course. If you're interested in it, just drop niche and I will send you more information about it. It's called Niche Mastery. Love for you to be able to dive deep into finding your niche and all about it. But again, don't dwell on it. Just choose it. Move forward. If you have any other questions, comments, I'd love to hear them. And this is 60 Days to Clarity Q&A with Erica. So tomorrow we'll be back with another question. If you have one of your own that you want to put in, please send them on in. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm using this new software and have no idea how to get out. Hold, please.